What's up, connoisseurs? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also, the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors and home to the best MJ community. Today's Thursday, September 5th. Hope you're doing well. We had a Pow Group member request to go over some tickers, and it's been a while since we looked at them, so I figured I would post it to the community. But like I said, I wanted to make it public, and this was a Pow Group private member that requested it. So you know who you are. We'll go over CGC and ACB. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You've been notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and you should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So the question was, can you look at CGC and ACB? CGC is a bear flag, so we'll take a look at that. It's almost reached the target, yep, and it entered daily oversold territory, but without some news, I don't expect any bigger bounce. In case of Tilray breaking the support at 150, it would probably drag the whole sector down. 160 has been holding for ages. Yeah, so exactly. That's Al from the Pow Group private community. I would agree. You know, if Tilray were to drop below 150, and I posted a video on that yesterday, September takes a toll. Could it lose $1 USD, and could it basically confirm that descending triangle? And that had a target of 76 cents. And I mentioned in that video that I don't think that's the most likely scenario. I put it at like probably a 30% probability of playing out, just because we've been in almost a 4-year bear market. But the only way that would happen, in my opinion, where we would drop below $1 and confirm that descending triangle, would be if the S&P 500 were to see a significant pullback again. And we are dropping to a daily lower low here on the S&P 500. We do have that gap there at 545, and we have key support there at 543 to maintain the daily bull flag. So if we lose 543, it could get pretty ugly, and then probably going to be dropping down into the 530s, and then maybe even the golden pocket there around here, around the 525 into 521. So we'll see what happens with SPY. The only way that CGC would see a lot of downside as well, in my opinion, would be if, like I said, the broader market SPY dropped significantly in the rest of the sector. I can't see any specific CGC like Canopy growth news that would make us drop, or any kind of sector news. Like we already got the hearing, we already got that news of the delay of rescheduling. So I can't really think of anything else that would derail, the industry or the sector. But other than the S&P 500 seeing a notable pullback, which could happen, right? We had NVDA, antitrust subpoena, etc. Same thing happened to Facebook and Microsoft and Google as well back in 2022 after the all-time highs and huge significant pullback. So they like to do that when things are at all-time highs and 52-week highs, right? They don't issue subpoenas and lawsuits when things are at 52-week lows, because Nancy Pelosi bought, and she'd be really upset with that. So we can't have that. So CGC here on the daily time frame, you're correct. It is a daily bear flag. We have our high, low of the dump. Then we had our lower high here. So on this bounce, it was just a very weak bounce. We didn't even get above the 0.236 there at 556. So anything under the 0.32 fib is just a weak bounce. And we didn't get above that 588 level. And then you just take your measured move from the high to the low, and then move it out to your 0.382 fib, and then a measured move of about 411 is what we would be looking at. So we did confirm the daily bear flag. We have about another 15% to go before that target is reached. Doesn't mean we have to get there, but we are losing the low of yesterday, 486. We hit 485, so not much follow through today, but still losing the low of yesterday nonetheless. And like I said, we could see another 15% or downside. That's why I've been saying, the whole sector, it's not just Tilray, it's not just CGC, the whole sector's been bearish, right? Even MSOS had a ton of bear flags on it as well. If we just bring up the bear flags here, we were targeting one bear flag of 537 and one of 512, and we hit 599. So again, it's not just CGC, it's not just one particular stock, it's the whole sector. And yeah, CGC right now could see about another 15% of downside. If we just take a look at CGC here on the weekly time frame, yeah, we did have a stochastic, and MACD still bearish as well. We just had a stochastic bear cross after crossing bullish, but we didn't get that bull cross of the MACD, and we're still below the 10-week moving average. So we got a lot of work to do here on CGC. We're back below all of the weekly moving averages as well. And then on the daily time frame, I think we just had we have a death cross that's coming up. So it's not looking too hot at all. We could very much see another leg down and see that bear flag target of 411 reached, which would basically be about 41 cents pre-split, right? Pretty hard to believe, which I think is even lower than what David Klein loaded up as an insider. So yeah, it's not looking too hot at the moment. If we just zoom out here to the weekly time frame, it's weekly consolidation. We're in a weekly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. which means zoom out to the monthly and look for monthly consolidation. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Consolidation just means we're losing the low of the previous candle. Bounce just means we're breaking the high of the previous candle. You can see here we are bouncing, but we're still in a monthly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. And we're just looking for a monthly higher low compared to the low there at 276. So technically speaking, we could drop another 41% and still just be looking for a monthly higher low and a monthly trend change. So very choppy here in the short term. That's why I've been saying, Tilray, I get a lot of slack for this one. It was like, oh, well, you just said the Tilray Golden Cross video, and then you came out with September takes a toll and could it drop below $1? Well, in that Golden Cross video, I said it doesn't mean just because we have a Golden Cross, the opposite of CGC, right? Tilray is actually gearing up for a Golden Cross where the 50 is below the 200 and it could cross. But just because we have a Golden Cross or a Death Cross doesn't mean we're dropping like a rock today or tomorrow, or just because we have a Golden Cross doesn't mean we're going to the moon today or tomorrow. It just means that, over the next, call it days and weeks, we could see more downside or upside. But if you're looking at things from a longer term to a medium to long term perspective, well, you're talking about weeks and months, right? Could be multiple months. And that's what I was talking about CGC whenever I looked at Tilray, when I did that video of the Golden Cross. I said, we're looking at maybe toward the end of October into November is where things should start to kick into high gear, no pun intended. We should see the real show begin. But I said it's very choppy and could expect another leg down. I've been saying that for multiple months, and now we're seeing it. And we're just looking for a monthly higher low. So the monthly higher low will be set once we confirm a weekly uptrend and start the monthly bounce, which we're nowhere near doing that. And we still got 25 days left in this candle. So entirely possible that we just chop away here for the next 25 days and kind of just range in between this level here, and then maybe start the monthly bounce next month and then confirm a weekly uptrend into the fall and Q4, typically a good time for stocks, right? So hopefully that helps. We'll take a quick peek at ACB. I assume it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, so we're in a monthly downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. We're just looking for a monthly higher low. The difference here, though, is we actually started the monthly bounce last month on ACB. So we came within, let me just get the exact percentage here. We came within about 30% from confirming the monthly uptrend. And if a name like ACB were to confirm a monthly uptrend, that is speaking volumes for the sector, because this name has been one of the weakest of the week. And if we were to see that, that would tell us a lot about the sector, and this time being different, right? The last time, whenever we had the move up in HHS recommendation to move it, and then DEA agreeing to start the process to reschedule, the difference is we didn't confirm a monthly uptrend. We had the monthly bounces. We were still in monthly downtrends, but this time around, leading into all these political campaigns pumping MJ. We could see Florida pass, which I think will happen. We could see rescheduling, early 2025, sometime in 2025, though. Banking, uplisting, so many of these things could happen. Excise taxes improvement in Canada, Germany, fast tracking Pillar 2, all of these things, right? I think this time is different, and this is going to bode well, I think, over the next couple of months. And historically, into election year, Q4 typically good, and October typically good, September typically bad. That's why we call it September. So if we take a look at ACB, on the weekly time frame, we're losing the 10-week moving average, seeing a MACD and a stochastic bear cross. So that is big red flag on ACB here in the short term. And we do have the 50 weekly there at 522. So we'll be looking at that as key support there on the weekly time frame. But again, if we follow the playbook of CGC, we could expect a drop below the weekly moving averages, just like CGC. They're very similar charts at the moment. And it's also gearing up for a death cross. So it's all about 528 there on the daily time frame, and 522. So we'll just say 522 is the most important level. Lose 522 and we're probably dropping down to 4. And now let's see, knowing that there's a bear flag on CGC and they're very similar, what are we going to be looking for here on the daily time frame on ACB? Might it be a bear flag? So we'll take a look. We'll see what happens. So you go from your high to the low here. We actually, if you ignore those upper wicks there, you can make the case that this was a daily bear flag, and we confirmed a daily downtrend as well. So you just move it out to your 0.32 fib. So it is saying that we could potentially see a move down to 551. So we could very well see a drop down to that 522 level. And then after 564, we have no support all the way down to 510. So I wouldn't be surprised if this dipped back into the $4, maybe 450, 475 before reversing. So hopefully that's helpful. If we look at the weekly time frame as well, we're weekly consolidation mode. But the one thing I'll mention is we're still in a weekly uptrend. We have our low, high, higher low, and higher high. So key support is going to be 510. Lose that, then it's down at 446 on the weekly. So like I said, that's lining up with my thinking. If we lose 510, or if we lose 522, watch for 510. I'll even just say 510. If we lose 522 and see a dip below that in the weekly moving average and 510 holds, not concerned about it at all. If we were to lose 510, then probably going to 475, 450. So hopefully that was helpful. If it was, smash like. I'm going to upload this to the public YouTube, and that's the benefit of being a POW Group member. You get to request things and get a little bit more attention from me. That's exactly kind of the idea, and day in, day out, that's where I spend all my time, is the POW Group private community. But you can check out powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com and check out our memberships there, and you can learn more. All right, going in it there, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.